Hi sexy. I was deciding what to do a video about, laying on my bed thinking what should I do for this week, looking around my room, trying to get inspiration, and I saw my shelves and the vast array of rubbish that I keep in my room, and I thought I could tell you about some of that. And then I thought I need to keep it down a little bit because I've got so much stuff in here that I could tell you about. I kept it to one shelf. It's in fact the shelf above the one that you're on. You're on one of my special shelves full of rubbish at the moment. Not saying you're rubbish, by the way, you're the opposite. You are treasure. But above you is a shelf with some stuff on it that I'm going to tell you about right now, one by one. Interesting stories. I definitely didn't buy this. I definitely didn't. A load of different things here, all from my friend Chloe over various birthdays. There's this, it's just a picture of Chloe and Lucy, my other friend, from when they were young and very different looking. And then there's this, which is some capers at Hive Bay Seafood Restaurant, where I also met a lot of my other friends, and there was often capers on the floor because there were just capers in the tartar sauce, and we were a seafood restaurant. We used a lot of tartar sauce. She used to find capers on the floor. She used to come up to me and say, "Jake," and then I'd have to put my hand out and she'd put a caper in it and I'd say thanks. There's also this, Marks & Spencer celebrating 125 years mug. I've no idea why she gave me this. I'm assuming it was free. In fact, I'm assuming it cost 1 pence. These were my last birthday. I like these things. They just came with a present that Lucy and Chloe gave me, but I'm into them. I love these things. This thing's on the shelf. Some Christian girls gave me this. I was sitting by the Globe Theatre, by the Thames in London. It's just out there, London. And I was with my friend Holly. I had some bright pink shoes on, which I was wearing quite often at the time. And they came up to me and said, "Oh, we love your shoes." And they gave me this. This is Magners Light, because I was complaining about the amount of calories that come inside her, and someone said Magners Light existed once. And down the landlord went into the basement and found one thing of this, which was completely out of date even then, so it's going to be even more out of date now. But for some reason I kept it. It's just one of those rain machines. This is a Boss voodoo doll. You get your pin and you stick it in and go, "Aha, my boss, ah." This is Prance, this is Chip. They are Beanie Baby cats. I used to collect Beanie Babies, loved it, I was obsessed, and Prance was like the main cat when I used to play around, because I used to properly play around with Beanie Babies, because I was pretty young. I used to actually make them have adventures and stuff, and Prance was leader of the cats. She was Queen Cat, my favourite of all the cats, and all the cats looked like this, so they were like a crew, and they used to fight against the dogs sometimes, and then Chip was like the naughty one, because, you know, called Chip. Newest addition to the shelf is a sign from BBC TV Centre that says Stage. I was lucky enough to work there quite a lot towards its end. I feel really privileged to have worked in that building, and so I took this and another one saying Toilets from over there, but that's not on the shelf, you can't see that one. But yeah, this one, bit of TV history right here in my hands. This is an ornamental egg from Cancun. My friend Katie got it for me because one day she discovered that I used to have ornamental eggs, and I showed them and she thought it was very funny that I had them, so she got me one when she saw one. Another sign, this one we saw like laying up against a lamppost that it had obviously been on the top of. It was laying up against it, and we just decided to stop the car, jump out and grab it because it was an exciting little sign, so we did that. And then, if you see here in these grooves, there were spider eggs in those. When I got it home, there were little things, and I stabbed it with the pen to see what it was, and little baby spiders all came out of the back of it, and I flushed them all down the sink because I didn't know what to do. It was quite frightening. Couple of pictures on the shelf. I've got this one of my little sister Grace when she was a baby in a basket. That's what you do, put babies in baskets. And then this one is of my mum and Grace laying and having a little time on the sofa. I remember seeing that picture when I was little. It's the first time I ever did it. I actually said, "I like that picture, I want it in a frame." So someone did it for me. My mum put it in a frame because it was my mum and my little baby sister. As well as the egg, Katie's given me more things throughout my life. She gave me this, I've no idea why. It's like a little cowboy man in a wooden... This is a wooden spoon that says Freak on it, with a smiley face. When Katie was going to uni, she was the first one in our friendship group to go to uni, so we went with her to buy all of the exciting things that you have to have for uni, including a wooden spoon. We decided to buy a wooden spoon each, and I think we each wrote on each other's. I can't exactly remember, but I know Katie wrote on mine, and that's what happened, so I've still got that. This is just because I've worked in restaurants so long, it's nice to have a little reminder all the time about when you have to put these on tables. Got these two bottles, two of my favourite things to drink. Jägermeister not so much anymore, but it certainly reminds me of good times, especially with Katie Chin, and just generally getting really drunk and having fun, and it really reminds me of festivals as well. There'll definitely be some coming to Reading this year with me. This, on the other hand, is still beautiful. I remember properly realising that I adored rum when I discovered Havana Club, or Havana Club, however you want to say it. I say Havana to the delight of my friend Rob. Speaking of Reading, here's a bit of bunting from the Red Camp. These things are on all of the little camps. Each colour is different. They just denote where you are, really, and one of these was on the floor, so I grabbed it because Red Camp is the place to be. It's where I've spent every single Reading I've ever been to, and it's where I will be spending the coming one this year. My mum went to Romania once, and she came back with this made by like a Romanian orphan or something like that. She worked with orphans and properly like did good stuff. It was one of the only times she ever sort of went travelling or went to do anything like that, and she decided to go to Romania, and she saw loads of really horrible things, but she brought this back. I remember always sort of, I love it, I love this little guy, and this on him is a badge saying Alex, because my friend Alex James, when we worked together at Hive Bay, we used to have to wear these, and we swapped badges. I've got this, a mouse mat of some tanned, bronzed Aussies, which is always nice, which was sent to me by my friend James, who, when I first met him on a lovely social networking app, he popped around my house to say hi, and brought with him this bottle of Absolut vodka, a little mini bottle. He sat on the floor, almost where I'm standing, and I sat on the bed, and we had a lovely chat with the vodka bottle in the middle of us with 2 glasses, and we finished that off quite quickly, and then to cut a very long story short, we ended up in Paris a month later, and we finished this one off, which I thought was a nice way of sort of, it was very much the start and the end, and as you can see, the vodka levels went up quite considerably over the course of our relationship. There you go, I like to keep stuff, and that's the reason, because there's so many stories just on that one shelf. See you next week for a very special video that I'm hoping to finish at the weekend. It's a bit different to usual, in that I've made a slight bit of effort, so look forward to that, and I will see you then. Thanks a lot, bye you sexy bastards. Do 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 do.